How's it going? So one of the viewers of the channel, Manikel, so shout out to Manikel for, I suppose, presenting this. Well, I don't know, is it a problem, but like, okay, so you have to understand a thing about YouTube is that it cannot be treated as a factual platform. Does that make sense? So what this guy is saying is a lot of the times you need to kind of not take these people seriously. A lot of the time they say stuff just to get the views. And to get the views, it has to be either entertaining or scary. There is a good rule in sales. If we can, like, if we can scare you, we can sell you. Right? Just remember this. If we can scare you, we can sell you. So in the video, well, first my opinion on what do I think of this channel. I will link in the description below CoffeeZilla. He's the internet detective. He covered Tech Lead already, and I think I covered him as well. Again, I will tell you, it's an entertaining channel, right? So he is more concerned with getting the views than providing factual information, because if you watch the video, he doesn't reference any type of studies. Everything he says is factually, I'd say, false, right? Because I mean, I work in STEM profession, right? He says coding is dead, blah blah blah, AI is taking over your jobs, kind of the usual shit that you get on news to scare you so that you will look at the ads and look at the content. But like, I mean, guys, like, oh, I've been asked this so many times, is AI gonna overtake the jobs? Okay, one sec. Okay, so this video by Patrick Boyle, he kind of covered it really well. Like, this stuff was available centuries ago. Like, a lot of people get confused by artificial intelligence. You have to understand, artificial intelligence is a marketing word. It's not, there is nothing intelligent about the systems that are quote-unquote artificial intelligence. They are language processing models. Yes, they got more advanced because the processing power got more advanced, but that stuff has been available a long time ago, and they cannot think. Do you understand? Like, you need to, just like, I don't want to get into 1 hour debate on what is thinking and how artificial intelligence is really stupid, right? Just trust me on this. Just watch the video. Also, another one is, so this guy, he is theoretical physicist, so he is one of the founders of this string theory. Very smart guy. So there is a robot called Asimov. This might, like, it's, I don't want to get into like super long arguments. I'm just gonna give you like really high level stuff, right? This robot, 2000, like 23 years in development. Do you understand how many scientists? Japan, very smart. Japan is one of the highest IQs in the world. They've been building artificial intelligence model, robots, trying to get them integrated into society. So he went into to meet Asimov, he interacted with him, and he says that Asimov, relative to a standard animal, which is like a dog, he classified him as a retarded cockroach. Do you understand? Because Asimov is stupid, he has no brains. What you see, like this Boston Dynamic bullshit, works in controlled environments. You can see a car, like self-driving vehicles, is bullshit because it's controlled environment. They drive on specific roadways. They drive where you can clearly see the traffic. They're like, oh, at night. But you have to understand, they make stupid shit. Like, sometimes traffic lights, there's like 4 or 5 different traffic lights. That's when artificial intelligence completely fails. Because it doesn't know which lane to join, because there's like 4 or 5 different lanes. Do you understand? Because it has no ability to think. It can't think. Right? So just like, don't buy into this bullshit. It's like, it's not gonna work, basically, right? So he's basically saying that STEM professions are dead, blah blah. Now, you have to understand, STEM professions are critical for society. You cannot not have engineers. You cannot not have doctors. You cannot not have scientists. Right now, One time I was getting very depressed over the fact that I thought that society is getting dumber. But if you look at how many subsidiaries, how many grants, how many research facilities are being established and funded by the governments, it has been rising steadily over years. So everything he says, like, you have to understand, governments will step in when demand for certain resources is low. I'm talking about doctors. Governments will pay you the salary so that you will become a doctor. So whether businesses or some YouTubers or some freaking celebrity who wants to become a boxer is famous, he no longer needs a scientist, is irrelevant, because the government needs the scientists. And the government is the ultimate decision maker. You have to remember, like I drew where on the left we have the business owners, on the right we have the middle class, which is the workers, and government is, we're like playing a game where government is the game master. Do you understand? So if something is required but there is a lack of it, government is going to provide subsidies and grants for this to happen. So whether business needs it or not is kind of irrelevant. Whether society needs it or not, that is the key question, right? And society very, 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 very much needs scientists, technologists, medicine, maths, stuff like that, right? So just treat it as entertaining content that he's just putting out to get the views, okay? So, one sec. Yeah, so something like this. I'm not gonna get into like super duper research. I already done that a bazillion times, right? But look, since 1916, the number of scientists, STEM professions, was doubling roughly every 15 years. My data is showing that since every 18 years it's doubling, right? So now you can make an argument, oh my god, there are so many people doing it and blah blah blah, but that's because the requirement for scientists, technologists, and STEM professions is so high that there is just not enough of them. You also have to remember technology is doubling. Lifespan of people is doubling, so you need more doctors, right? Most of the developed countries are moving into becoming advanced societies, so they need infrastructure, they need engineers, they need power plants, they need IT professionals, they need UI developers. Everything that coming from STEM they will require. And you have to understand that, like, combine European Union with America, I'm talking like really advanced societies like the West, it's only like 1/8 of the whole world. So those countries that were like, eventually countries like Russia will stop being dictatorship country and will move towards being more capitalist and democratic. Man, that's like 1/3 of a million people. That's like almost the size. Well, it's not really. I think it's like 150 million. That's half of the America. How many jobs are in there? Bazillion. China will eventually probably go into. At the moment, I don't know. Like, I don't want to comment on China because I don't really study it that much. Because people kind of gave out to me a little bit about saying that China is dictatorship state, but I don't know. But like, I mean, China is like what, one third of the world is China. How many jobs are in there? Bazillion, right? India is another one, right? So this professions are like, and it's critical for society, critical. So I hope you understand this stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do. So I'm going to link this. Okay. I'm gonna go through. I have a YouTube channel blocker, right? YouTube channel blocker. Where's my YouTube channel blocker? Okay. And I blocked a lot of channels. Now, I'm going to mark them as red. I'm gonna go through them right now. Red is something that I would not want my kids to watch, or I don't think that this is good for me or overall, right? For people that I know. Now, this is my personal opinion. You might think otherwise, right? But this will be my list, and I'm going to mark it, right, for you. And I'm going to link it in the description below, so you can kind of make your own decision whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Now, you will notice some channels that I do not, like Mr. Beast, I do not have anything against Mr. Beast content, but he's blocked, and I'll tell you why, because I want, he's just too popular, basically, right? I want to find some kind of a course on coding, boom! Mr. Beast pops up with his, I don't know, some kind of coding challenge or some blah blah blah, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the target market for Mr. Beast. Think about it this way, right? I'm not blocking Mr. Beast because it's like some kind of weird content or stuff like that. I don't have anything against it. It's fine. Some people think it's good. Like, I watch it. It's entertaining content. It's like a daily dose of internet. Like, I watch it sometimes. Like, but Mr. Beast is a bit. I'm a bit. I think it's a bit. You need a bit to be younger than me to watch it, right? To enjoy it, I suppose. But right. I lost my train of thought. One sec. Let me just think. Why am I blocked? Yeah, okay, so, look, let's say there is a popular channel for females. I'm not a female. I don't get appealed by this content. And every time I put in YouTube some kind of a course I want to study, that channel pops up. And I do not watch this channel at all because it's for females, because I'm not a female, right? So I would block that because I'm not the target audience, right? And it's wasting time for popping up in my results, right? So again, it's nothing to do with the content. It's just that I'm not the target audience. I just wanted to get rid of it, if that makes sense, right? Okay. All right, so let me go through this, and I'm gonna link it in the description below. So one sec. Yeah, in other content, I'll show you like stuff like this. You see here, like I don't know what to think about content like this. Is because it's like she doesn't have expertise to talk about subjects. Maybe she does, I don't know, but like based on the videos I've seen, she's just sharing her opinions. Do you know what I mean? It's like getting into a taxi and listening to a taxi driver who is just sharing his opinions about something. Right? Like when I watch content, I want some kind of education, right? I'm just looking for education, some kind of knowledge, something to expand myself as a person. If I want entertainment, I would watch probably a movie or play a video game. Or maybe watch some, I don't know, daily dose of internet. Occasionally, I'm talking like maybe once a month, I would maybe go through like 3 videos and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine, right? But like, sitting and looking at a chick with makeup that is like young and attractive, I suppose. Well, I don't know if she's attractive, but she's a good looking girl, like, I have nothing against it, right? Just sharing her opinions of what she thinks about something is just like I'm like I don't know what to think of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, what am I like? Again, like it's like listening to a taxi driver. It's like, okay, like what does that do? It's just like some kind of opinions. Do you know what I mean? I personally, not my cup of tea. So you see, I would ban this because I don't want her to come up in my search results. And I have a lot of channels like this. Some women, they're just like exposing too much of their, you know, they're basically trying to get. Well, I'll show you an example. One second. Let me just pause 1 second. So something like this, you see? Like her whole content is like, I don't know, when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, it's weird stuff. So she's gonna have popular topics, right? And she's gonna be like, first of all, these two people are not professors. Do you know what I'm saying? So like this guy, I've seen him a couple of times, but I mean, I don't understand why he's famous. Like, I don't really get it, right? But it's like, I don't know, he just spits some kind of stuff. Like, he says, oh, one time I heard him talk about it, he was talking about basically, like, the problem between that there's gonna be a lot of poor people, and then there's gonna be a lot of wealthy people, which is kind of like, we know that, because that's kind of capitalism, right? And he's like, oh yeah, all the poor people are doomed. And then he's like, talking about the problem that the wealthy take advantage of the poor, and yet he himself sells courses that don't really work because he's not a qualified person to create courses, right? And he's just, again, spreading his opinions into society with no verifiable results, which is like weird. And you see like this chick here is like, she's basically trying to like, she's implying that she's not wearing any panties. Do you know what I mean? And she's just like, oh, you know, she's basically trying to appeal to people who watch a lot of adult content and to children who cannot have access to adult content because maybe it's parental control. So she's trying to kind of stimulate using her kind of sexuality, I suppose, and get people to watch that. But like, I don't know, like for me this stuff is just so, it's my opinion, right? It's just so low that I just ban, and I don't watch, I just ban, and that's it. Because it's like I saw the, because one dude, I think he linked Andrew Tate, and then I put him into my search bar, and Jesus Christ, the stuff that came up, I was like, that stuff like this came up. You know what I mean? It's like chicks whose thumbnail is basically them literally spreading their legs, and like her, just blurring out the parts. Do you know what I mean? And I was like how much science and education, factual, accurate information is in here? I mean, it's like opening an adult magazine. Do you know what I'm saying? You'll be like, oh, interview with a porn star, who is like, you know, how many sexual partners he had. I mean, like really, do you know? Like, that's not fun to me. I don't want to watch that shit, right? So that's a ban for me. So I'm just telling you, okay, I'm gonna go through this stuff and see what you think. Okay, take care. 1 sec. So I went through the list. I noticed that this list is not the one I have on my Windows drive. So you have to remember that this drive is a work, like this computer here, not computer, but the drive here is just brand new. So I had to go to my Ubuntu drive. Long story short, this list is not complete because there's probably a lot more, but it's close enough, right? So I kind of, you can go through them yourself, and I didn't really block this stuff like that. I mean, I don't know why you would want to watch it, but I mean, to me it's not really bannable, but I personally would not watch this kind of stuff, you know. It's not for me. That's why you see channels in here are kind of like that. Another one was, like, another good example is, 1 sec, I'll find it. Yeah, so this would be a good channel as well. I'm talking about like bannable for me, because you have to understand, I work with developers all the time. I understand their thinking processes, how they reason, their interests and stuff like that, right? So this lady here is trying to give you advice on how to become a software developer. And when I listen to it, it's like, I personally do not see it as being relevant at all. In fact, in my opinion, I'm talking about like this, my pure opinion, I don't even think she is a software developer at all. I think it's just something, I think she's trying to fill in some kind of a niche where, I don't know, I started noticing that there was a trend that people started saying that, oh, I'm a software developer and here is how I got a job in 6 months. And then when they start telling you how to do it, because as a person myself who have went through exactly what they're talking about, where I had to train myself to become a developer, I had to find the job, I have to do the interviews, I have to do the challenges, I have to do the skills, right? What they're saying is so different to what I see, because you have to remember, I'm a working person, right? And I went through the whole thing. So if they were to give, let's say I start from blank, right, and I don't know anything, and I come across this type of channels, and they're giving me advice, that advice would be kind of counterproductive, in my opinion, to what I'm trying to accomplish. It's like, it feels like they don't really understand what they're talking about, but they're just using, like, there's a computer in the background that is running Visual Studio Code, which has code in it, and then past that point, there is really, it's kind of like a financial education, this guy's channel. Financial education. Now, for me, he is a big ban. Now, Tiffany is like an optional ban, but for me, I would like, because like her channel is debatable. It's kind of like, it's entertainment. Do you know what I mean? If you want to watch entertainment, by all means. But this guy, you see, why, in my opinion, I would ban him. Like, why I think he's a little bit on the red side is because he's giving you actual advice that can cause a lot of financial damage. In fact, he picked, I think it was 4 or 5 stocks where the companies went bankrupt. So you see, some people might take this advice and go all in on the picks, and there are some people that speculate that he might be getting paid by the companies that he's promoting, because sometimes he just comes up with random companies and nobody understands why would you even pick them, because potentially there could be some kind of financial gain, to which he has to disclose. Like, you have to understand that this is kind of, this border is that, I don't know if that is even legal, because if you are being paid by a company to sell their stock, I think you have to disclose it. I'm not sure whether it's applicable in the United States, but in EU, I think you have to disclose that. So you see, to me, that would be red flag, because there can be a lot of damage done. Right? So that's why, channels like this are just red flag them, So, yeah, another thing I'm going to link is I'm going to put this into Triforce. It's gonna be titled Internet Detectives. So basically, you can watch these channels and they expose a lot of people who are trying to take advantage. Well, basically, I don't know how to say. These people are in it for the views, right? So everything they do is just to get the views. They're not interested in helping you. They just want the views and profits from the ad revenue, right? So again, Scott Schaefer did a very good video actually on this guy, and he said very, very important thing, and you need to live by it. Like, it has to be a rule of thumb. Everything you see on YouTube is entertainment purposes. It's not for education purposes. I understand I would be an exception because I'm not financially motivated. In fact, my channel is not even monetizable. I don't earn anything from my YouTube videos. Now, you will see ads on my YouTube channel, but that's because Google makes money. I don't, right? One sec, I'll show it to you. So you see, like, I have the views, right? The watch time, but I don't have the subscribers to get. That's why you see, you don't hear me like, oh, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel. People who do that, they are in it for the gains, right? I'm kind of like borderline thinking maybe I shouldn't even. Maybe I should ask some people to unsubscribe, because I don't want to create bias in my head where I will start making videos and start giving a shit what do 5-year-old kids who watch content think, because then I might become one of these people. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, holy smokes, this stock just went. Like, I just watched this guy. It's hilarious. I watched like 5 minutes of him. It was just like, oh my god, this is clearly for children. Clearly. There is no financial analysis, no balance sheets, no income statement, no gearing analysis, no asset ratios, no PE ratios, nothing. It's just like, holy smokes, I just picked this stock because I like the logo. Like, for me, it's like, holy moly, dude. Anyway. So, if you see these guys appear on these channels, I would red flag them. I don't even research sometimes. You just hear, especially on CoffeeZilla, like Chris Norland is quite good as well with this stuff. Scott Schaefer is very, very good as well. Mike Winnet, he's no longer active, but he used to be good. Thunderfoot, he's more of a kind of like, you see kind of like campaigns, like GoFundMe campaigns, where it's like, oh, we have this new idea of, I don't know, a self-filling water bottle, and he just goes, this will never work because of physics. Right? Right? And you watch stuff and you realize, holy shit, and he's very educational because he actually teaches you physics and kind of like chemistry and stuff like that, and you understand fundamentally why some products that are being developed never going to reach commercial stage, because for them to work, laws of physics has to be broken. Hyperloop is a good example of that, right? Well, Hyperloop, it's a VAC train actually. So Echo from Bove is pretty good. Echo from Bove, he actually makes videos of whom he would ban. One sec. Yeah, so you see he goes, avoid these YouTubers. So he goes through a list of people, and you will see that some of them would be on my list. In fact, almost all of them are on my list. And he gives you alternative people that you can follow for financial advice, right? So, I mean, it's a double bubble, as they say. You know, he not only tells you what to avoid, he also tells you what to whom to listen to. But I don't know, when somebody on YouTube is telling you trying to tell you how to stock pick, I wouldn't go for it at all. Like, you just go for index funds, basically, because you see, when somebody tells you they want to pick this for these reasons like this, you have to understand you have to be a financial person to understand what they're saying, and like, if you're not, you cannot validate that what they're saying is true or not, because they could be just telling you a lot of technical terms, and you're just like, oh, it sounds good, therefore I'm going to invest, right? So I'm just saying that, you know, just stick to what works, which is your pension fund, your index funds, and climb up the corporate ladder, save money. I know I sound like the people tell you not to listen to this guy, but it works, you see? And the reason why you get ahead is because everybody's trying to win the lottery or get rich in like 3 years. It's not gonna work, right? But I'm telling you, after 10 years of doing that, you will have a lot of options. I'm not talking about you'll be able to move into California with, but like Ferrari will not be a problem. Let me just put it this way: buying like Tesla Taycan not Tesla, but the Porsche Taycan. I got it confused with Tesla because there's always like comparison, which is basically anyway Porsche Taycan, right? Like, that would not be a problem for you. Like, meeting payments for some kind of a 3-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood. I'm not talking about prestigious neighborhood, I'm talking about nice neighborhood. Is not gonna be a problem for you. So you will have a lot of options. Also for males, ladies, find it if you are, you know, financially good, if you are up the corporate ladder, that's attractive as well, right? So there is also that, if you're into that stuff, right? So, okay, so we started with this guy. I'm gonna link this video so you can see. In here, treat it as entertainment, not factually accurate at all. And yeah, and I'm gonna link this so you can check it out yourself. Take care, bye bye.